Welcome to another edition of Lock It or Drop It, presented by Sports Interaction, Canada's Sportsbook. Carlan alongside Vinnie, Iyer, and Sports Interactions David Bastl. The NFL season is sadly over. Congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams for winning the Super Bowl, and congratulations to me, guys, for picking the Los Angeles Rams. You guys, both losers on the show. But let's see if you get back on track here. Lock it or drop it. 3 questions, as you guys know. You lock it or you drop it. So we'll look ahead till next season. The first one coming your way, David. Lock it or drop it. The Super Bowl champion Rams make it out of the NFC next season.
You know what? I'm going to drop this. This conference is, well, obviously the weaker of the two conferences, but it's wide open. There's probably 4 or 5 different teams. Where does Aaron Rodgers go exactly? Does he stay in the conference? Well, I'm not sure. I don't think anybody's sure about that right now. So right now, Rams, I am dropping this for the conference, Vinnie.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with David, and I'm going to drop the Rams as well. Going into their offseason, they've got some salary cap issues. They're going to have to sort things out there. They're not going to be the same team that we saw in the Super Bowl. They built to win that. And the field is just strong, as David mentioned. I would take the field over the Rams here to get to the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl.
6 of the last 7 games in the playoff, guys, came down to one field goal. The one game that didn't was probably the best game of the entire playoffs in the last decade or so. And speaking of that, lock it or drop it, one of the teams that lost in the playoffs is a co-favorite in the AFC. My Buffalo Bills, Vinny, do they make it out of the AFC next season?
I'm going to drop it on the Bills. Again, it's just the field is strong. Again, I mean, you have the Chiefs, you have the Bengals, you got the quarterbacks there with Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. Then you've got Justin Herbert. Who knows how good that Chargers team can be soon with him there. There's just a lot of elite quarterbacks, and it's no rest for the weary in the AFC. So take the field. It's a little bit opposite of the NFC. It's more loaded with contenders, but still that makes it a logjam. Drop it on the Bills.
Carlan, I'm going to lock this in. I like the Bills. I think they should have been there this year, and they probably would have ended up winning it. They're going to have to make some adjustments in the offseason, just like every other team does, but best offense out there, a pretty good defense. Maybe you improve that running game or figure out who exactly is going to be a stud, because Devin Singletary really wasn't that good for most of the season. So I like the Bills top to bottom. I'm going to lock it in and send them to the Super Bowl.
All right, David, we have one half of your Super Bowl prediction for next season. Who do the Bills play out of the NFC, next year?
You know what? Okay, so I got the Bills and the Cowboys. You can get the Cowboys right now at plus 650. Dan Quinn is back as the DC. I really like that. They got to shore up the defense a little bit. A top 5 offense? Absolutely. As long as the Cowboys don't cowboy themselves like they seem to do, they got a weaker type of division too, Carlan. So I actually like them to get out and, you know what, break through. Bills and Cowboys for me, Vinny.
Well, Carlan, we did pick the Cowboys to get to the Super Bowl a couple years ago against the Chiefs. I'm bringing that one back here in 2022. I don't know what's going to happen with the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what's going to happen to the Rams. I don't know what's going to happen with the 49ers and Trey Lance. These are the favorites. The Buccaneers are not going to be in the mix without Tom Brady. Who do we have left is the Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott, and I got to go with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I mean, this team is going to always have a high floor, and look, they were disappointed with this year's playoffs, but I'm not going to bet against Patrick Mahomes twice. It's not going to happen. So I like Chiefs, Cowboys in that Super Bowl, and I got to go with Mahomes there. So Kansas City and Dallas, Super Bowl 57.
No matter how we slice it, it should be an exciting game if the Cowboys were to make it out of the NFC. All right, there are teams looking forward to trying to build a contender next season. One of those teams are the Jacksonville Jaguars. They hold the number 1 overall pick in the upcoming draft. They got the quarterback, but they're looking to add pieces to that team that needs a ton. Right now in Sports Interaction, the number 1 overall pick, most likely number 1 overall pick, is Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan. Lock it or drop it, Vinny. Do the Jaguars select Aiden Hutchinson at number 1?
I'm going to drop it because there's a lot of uncertainties about the Jaguars. Do they like Kayvon Thibodeau as well as an edge rusher at that first spot? Do they want to go offensive line with an Evan Neal or Ikem Konwu? There are some options there for the Jaguars. And the other one is, of course, trading down. The Jaguars need a lot of help at different positions, and there's no obvious number 1 pick here, and you might want to get out of that spot. So again, going to the field here. The field seems to be the theme of this show for me, but going with anyone other than what you said.
You know what? I'm going to drop it as well. I think the Jaguars have to build up that offensive line in front of Trevor Lawrence. Evan Neal screams, pick me, big tackle out of that NFL factory called Alabama. 6'7", 350 pounds. Protect the quarterback. This is exactly what we saw in the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow wasn't protected the entire season, especially in the postseason. You need time around that franchise quarterback. They're drafting an offensive line.
Yeah, in the trenches is where you win games, guys. So it's either going to be an O lineman or D lineman. I agree with both of you guys on this episode of Lock It or Drop It, which doesn't happen often, by the way, because the last time I disagreed, actually, it worked out pretty well for me, I must say. I didn't win enough money, though. I'm still working here on the show. That's it for this week. Lock It or Drop It. Reminder, it is presented by Sports Interaction. As always, please gamble responsibly.